rocks.
We did get a lot of rocks, yeah.
You want to talk about rocks?
Yeah.
All right.
We bought a bunch of rocks.
I got this little turtle.
Nice. Yeah. I bought a little drum machine. Yeah, it's awesome. I have it downstairs somewhere, but yeah. Teenage Engineering, it's a fucking cool one. Yeah, very cool. What's that? Is that a purchase?
No, this is just something I have. Okay.
All right.
My favorite acquisition of Tor was not actually a purchase. I found it. And it's a, it's, don't record this. I'm looking at you. It's an ottoman, right, for your feet, but it's, you know, but it's also a turtle. And it's fucking awesome. It's so fun. Never seen anything else like it.
You slept with it?
I slept with it in my bunk for a couple of days. And I brought it home when we were in New York. And if anyone...
Brought it home.
I freed it.
He comes on the bus at like 2 o'clock in the morning with this huge bag. And the ottoman in the bag. And it looks like a giant turtle.
Hypothetically, this happens.
Crazy, it was just
I
sitting
freed
down.
it. I freed that turtle from a room that I saw it in.
They're humanitarians. We haven't named him, but he lived in the bus for quite some time. His head would move. We had other crew accomplices. It wasn't a sole mission.
We can't say anything.
Yeah, we're not allowed to.
I've said too much. I've said too much.
All right, does the graffiti in LA ever inspire you guys in any way?
I like the graffiti, you know. I like that my brother-in-law Evan knows basically like, all like the different writers and tags. So I'll ask him, like, what's that? I'd be like, oh, well, that's from this crew. There's a guy from Jersey that they know, they're cool with him. I'm like, all right. So yeah, I like it. I don't know if it inspires me like to write music, but I think it's pretty.
I think street art in general is just awesome. It's always inspiring to see art in unexpected places.
Yeah, what Tim said.
Yeah, what I said. Okay.
What's the best part of tour? The beginning, middle, or the end?
And not the middle.
It's weird. The beginning's strange, right? Because you're like kind of trying to like relearn how to do it, and so it's new and exciting and nerve-wracking. And then the middle is like you've hit your stride, so like you're getting good at this, which is nice. But at the same time, like you miss home, you know. And then the end is like it feels like a celebration. Like coming out of it, you feel like this is the best you've ever been at it, and but at the same time, it's like feels like sometimes it drags the end, you know. But then you have times where you're like, oh my god, like it's like the last couple of shows you're playing LA, you're playing like a big market or something like that. Which I hate that I just said that, by the way, but that's what they're called. That's what they're called. And it's nice to have shows like that because they're huge shows and people go crazy, and sometimes they're nerve-wracking because there's either like label people or like you have so many friends and you come in, and ultimately you'll wake up the day of that show and you'll get all these text messages from like fake friends that want to get on your fucking list that you haven't talked to in a couple of years. Yeah, those are fun. I don't know, did I answer? I didn't answer the question.
Yeah. I think that's you nailed it. All right. Yeah, he's right. I don't know if anyone wants to add. You got some additions.
I like the end. And not because it's over, but just because what Frank said, you're locked in, the show feels really good, and like the last couple of days of tour, like, I don't know, it's like the last little bit of school where everybody's relaxed, you don't want, just the tour manager is the one that's stressing about everything.
She's super relaxed.
I think the beginning kind of sucks because you have to pack, and packing is impossible. And then you're also like, you don't have your like sea legs under you, so you're playing these shows and you're still getting used to playing again. The middle is when you get really good. You're like, all right, the set's working, you feel good, you're in the moment because you're getting good at it, but you're not too close to home. So you're like, all right, I have to be here. I'm at work. And then the end is fucking excruciating because you're like, oh my God, I'm gonna be going home soon. How do I fit all this shit that I bought, like an turtle ottoman, into my suitcase? Yeah, but so the middle, I feel, is the sweet spot. And I think I'm right.
I am just realizing that everything I own is dirty. Yeah, it was a little nerve-wracking today. I was like trying to get the shit from the bus, like, what do I wear tonight? I'm like, oh, this is fucking wet. Yeah. It's a little rough. Tucker might be right.
Write that down.
What's your favorite West Coast fast food chain?
Oh, yeah. Ike's.
We're all very full from Ike's.
Fuck. Ike's is incredible. You guys know what that is? Yeah.
You guys know.
I didn't know though. Yeah. Ask somebody. Sick. That was good. Yeah. There you go. Real aggressive too. Okay. Yeah. I only learned about it like a year ago. I didn't know about it.
Yeah. We got crusty bread.
That fucking bread, dude. That Dutch ass crunch.
Yo, you know what? San Diego is where we first had it, right? Where I first had it.
Is it?
We're there tomorrow, so we get that again.
No, that's where we ordered it and they sent it to LA. Yeah.
We still got it. Yeah, we did.
We did get it, but it's not the first place we had it, because the first place we had it was LA, and then we tried to reorder it, but I ordered it to the same place and we were in San Diego. This is true. Oh, okay.
Plant powers the shit, so I like it.
How was the ride? Yeah, Mr. Charlie's in San Francisco last night. How was the writing process for this album different than the first album, or were there any similarities?
Definitely similarities, but definitely some differences as well. I think the biggest difference was when we were writing Past Lives, it was kind of just like Tucker had sent out a group text message to it was like me and Tim and Travis, and we were just kind of sending stuff back and forth. And so we were just writing songs, not really knowing what it was or what we were doing, just kind of like passing time and being creative. And then once we had a bunch of songs, we were like, oh shit, like, all right, well, do you want to be a real band or do you want to be an instrumental band? Do you want to, should we get a singer? And I think ultimately we all wanted, the first one we thought of was Anthony, but we weren't sure if he would be into it. So we devised a plan to send it to him. And I think I'll pass off there, but the difference is this time around we wrote with everyone in the band in mind, and I don't think there was a lot of us filling up space. It was leaving space for the other members and stuff. So, but you want to tell how you convinced Anthony?
We tricked him. We were like, I just,
There was like a little rope around it.
what I meant by tricked was trapped. We trapped him in the box. No, I sent him 3 or 4 songs, and I didn't say he was in the band. And he, later said, "Oh, I thought that was just you and your neighborhood friends," which essentially, you are my neighborhood friends. But it wasn't until after he sent back the first demo, which was for a song called Antibodies, that I was like, oh, well, your buddy Frank is in the band and your buddy Travis. Yeah, but he was jazzed either way, which you got a good friend when you don't, when they just trust you and say, all right, yeah, I'll be in your band of, your high school buddies or whatever you thought it was. So essentially, yes, we trapped him and tricked him.
I was so excited just to be doing something with even just you. I was like, oh fuck yeah, I'll do whatever. Yeah, I still feel residual waves of joy from that day of getting asked to be in the band. But I would say that I think the coolest thing about Violet is the fact that we all, while we were crafting the songs, we all got to sit together and like listen to each other work out stuff and encourage each other. And there was like this energy of us all being there, and it didn't feel like that really with Past Lives. I love Past Lives, but this felt like the first time we got to really make a record together.
I will say this real fast on the Anthony tip. There was no second person that we were thinking of. It was either him or we were going to get him anyway. There was no other choice.
If you said no, you were going to tell him.
Yeah, I was going to be like, but. So yeah.
Thanks for letting me be in the band. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and I think the other thing, kind of to Frank's point, even aside from vocals, I think when we were writing Violet, it was fun to be able to write something and kind of already know what everyone brought to the table in terms of like their, style, how our kind of musical, interests and playing styles intersected. So leaving room for like, I could do something busy here, but I know it would actually be cooler if it was like a vocal hook or a guitar melody or, some sort of like rhythmic change. So it was, with Past Lives, I think it was just, we were all just throwing as much shit against the wall and just seeing what stuck. And there was a much more deliberate approach to Violet. But yeah, I think that we didn't try to overthink it either, but there was definitely more of a deliberate, attempt to craft songs as opposed to just like writing for just like the sake of writing and just getting shit out. We were able to take a step back and kind of look at what we were doing and even leaving the studio before we had picked the songs that were going to be on the album. I mean, we tracked, I think, 14 songs like fully, and then had to sit back and look at how we wanted the album to flow and what songs were going to be on it. Where Past Lives, I think we were like, oh shit, all right, we have enough to record an album, let's just fucking do it. Let's do it now. So, yeah.